Okay, hello. This is my Module 11 video. So for this one, I used the regression 3, and I'm comparing the discussions with the exams and the exam 4 score. So here are my histograms right here. This one's my histogram of my exam 4 versus the exam, the 3 right here given to me. And right here I labeled the mean. So the mean for that one was 70.5, and I labeled that right here, or I put it right here. And then the standard deviation was 15, so I went 15 above and 15 below. And then for my next one, I just used this data and I did the same. I put my mean at 78 and standard deviation was 18, so I went 18 above and below, and that shows my standard deviations right here. The distribution of these, they're both pretty unimodal, and there's not really that many outliers. The shape, like I said, is unimodal. I would say a little bit, it might be skewing to the left. I would say just a little bit, but overall there's not that many outliers. Okay, so then I also, for each of them, so I did a scatter plot for each of them. This is for the discussions and this is for the exams. And then these lines represent where the means are. As you can see, it crosses right here, and these are where their means. And this is the regression line, where this right here, y equals 1.182 times x, that's my slope right there. So for every time x goes up, it's gonna go up by 1.1842. As well as this one, every time x goes up, it's going to go up by 1.0941. And then the correlation coefficient for each, this one I got 0.4116, and actually for this one I got 0.73, which is closer. Correlations are kind of like a t-test statistic, like a p-value. So the closer to 1, the more they correlate. So as you can see, this one correlates more. This one has a lower correlation coefficient. And then I'm going to explain to you what r squared is. As you can see, the values of r squared, I had them, right here. They're already right here. And it is the measure of how well the regression predictions approximate the real data points. So basically, if you have an r squared closer to 1, it's better. And as you can see, this one, there's a negative, which we're not supposed to have. So this one, the discussions kind of has a very low regression prediction, meaning this isn't a very good line of fit. And this one is very low too. It's 0.2822, so really not close to 1. So this isn't also the best line of fit for our data. So then, yes, this is the slope before the x. So like I said, every time x goes up, it goes up by this much. And then it says, report both the predicted. Okay, so then I chose a student. I chose right here, this student right here. And what I did is I used my y values, and right here. So I did the predicted based on my equation for the discussion was 79.3414, and what I did is I went to the discussion and saw that there's a 67, and then I went down to my equation right here and I did 1.1842 times x, which is 67, and that's when I got this 79.3414. And again with this I did the same thing, and the actual score was 44, so I had very high residuals, meaning my equations aren't very predictable. I shouldn't really use them since it didn't get me that close to what the actual prediction of what I got. I think the model that would be the best for predicting would be using the exam, just because we had a higher correlation coefficient, meaning exam 4 and exam 3, or the 1-3, have more of a connection than the discussions did. So if I were to use a equation, I would use this one, the y equaling 1.0941x. Let me see what else I'm missing. So yeah, overall I used the regression 3, Um, this is how I got all of my numbers over here. And then these are the histograms with the means and the standard deviations. And these are my box plots with my equations, my R squared, and I actually have my correlation coefficients right here. And then this is me using my equations and seeing how well they actually work, which they didn't really work that well, meaning this line of fit wasn't just the best fit for me. So overall, I would just like to see if there's any other questions I could add, anything I could add, please let me know. Thank you.